Imagine for a moment controlling the value of the world's most enduring currency, a metal that has been synonymous with wealth and power since the dawn of civilization: gold. Now, imagine being able to manipulate its price, tipping the scales of financial markets in your favor. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, doesn't it? Welcome to the money trail. Gold price manipulation isn't just an outlandish claim, it's a well-documented reality, backed by hard evidence and high-profile court cases. But what does this mean? It means that the price of gold, a supposedly free market commodity, can be, and has been, illegally influenced by powerful actors. In 2014, Deutsche Bank, one of the world's leading financial institutions, agreed to pay $60 million to settle charges related to manipulating the gold market. This wasn't an isolated incident. In the same year, 4 traders from 3 different banks were fined a combined $1.7 million for rigging the gold and silver markets. But why should you care? Because gold price manipulation affects everyone with a pension fund, a 401k, or any investment in stocks and bonds. When the price of gold is artificially suppressed, it skews the entire financial system, leading to distorted market values and potential losses for investors. Gold is more than just a pretty metal, it's a global currency with real-world implications. Its manipulation undermines trust in our financial systems, worsens economic instability, and benefits only those powerful enough to play these illicit games. Over the next hour, we'll delve into the evidence, talk to insiders, and expose the players involved in the shadowy world of gold price manipulation. But remember, this isn't about promoting fear or mistrust. It's about shedding light on a hidden aspect of our financial history, so you can make informed decisions. At the heart of gold price manipulation lies an institution that many people have heard of, but few truly understand: central banks. These are not the kind of banks where you deposit your savings or take out a mortgage. Central banks operate at a level far removed from everyday finance, shaping monetary policy and global economic stability. One such institution is the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, one of 12 regional banks that make up the U.S. Federal Reserve System. It's here, in the basement of this imposing skyscraper on Liberty Street, where billions of dollars worth of gold bars are stored for countries and international organizations. This vault holds more than any other in the world, making it a key player in gold markets. But what role does the Fed play in manipulating gold prices? According to documents leaked by whistleblower Edward Snowden, they've been doing so since at least 1961 through operations conducted under the code name Lion. The goal: suppressing the price of gold to maintain confidence in the US dollar. This revelation came as part of a broader investigation by German journalist Lars Schall into gold price manipulation. His work uncovered numerous other examples of central bank involvement, including the Bank for International Settlements, often dubbed the Central Bank of Central Banks. Based in Basel, Switzerland, the BIS has been accused of using its influence to coordinate price manipulations across major global markets. In 2013, a lawsuit was filed against several large banks, including Deutsche Bank, HSBC, and Scotiabank, alleging they conspired to manipulate gold prices. Internal documents revealed during discovery processes showed these banks communicated regularly with both the Fed and BIS about their activities. While none of this proves definitively that central banks are actively suppressing gold prices today, it does raise serious questions about their past involvement. And given the secretive nature of these institutions, full transparency may never be achieved. Yet, as we continue to explore this complex world, remember, understanding how these mechanisms work empowers us to navigate our financial landscape more wisely. As we delve deeper into this murky world of gold price manipulation, let's focus on a specific practice that has raised eyebrows: the London gold fixing. Now, this isn't some clandestine meeting in a dark alley, but it might as well be. The London gold fixing is a daily conference call between 5 of the most powerful banks in the world: Bank of England, HSBC, Barclays, Scotiabank, and Société Générale. Their task? To set the gold price for the entire day. The process begins at 10:30 a.m. and 3:00 p.m. London time, when these banks submit their bids and offers to buy or sell gold. The price is then adjusted until the total amount of gold demanded equals the total offered. This sets the global gold price. But here's where things get interesting. In 2014, a shocking scandal emerged when Barclays was fined $26 million for manipulating the gold fix in 2012. Internal emails revealed traders discussing how they could move the gold price to benefit their own positions. This wasn't just one rogue trader. Senior managers were aware and even encouraged it. But what about the other banks? Were they also manipulating the gold fix? Well, we can't say for certain, but given the interconnected nature of global banking, it's not a stretch to imagine so. After all, if one bank can profit from manipulation, why wouldn't others follow suit? This raises serious questions about the integrity of the gold market. If prices are being artificially suppressed by these daily fixes, then investors are being misled. They're buying and selling based on false information, potentially losing millions in the process. And remember, this is just one aspect of gold price manipulation. Central banks around the world hold vast quantities of gold, which they can release or withdraw from the market as they please. This affects supply and demand, thereby influencing prices. It's a complex web of power and influence that's difficult to untangle. Yet, amidst all this complexity, one thing is clear: there's evidence of gold price suppression by the London gold fixing. And while we may never uncover the full extent of this manipulation, understanding its existence empowers us to make informed decisions in the financial market. As we delve deeper into the labyrinth of gold price manipulation, it's crucial to examine the role of gold futures and derivatives trading. This arcane world is where fortunes are made and lost, often in nanoseconds, by players who wield enormous financial power. One such institution is the COMEX division of the New York Mercantile Exchange, a platform where vast quantities of gold futures contracts are bought and sold daily. These paper promises to deliver physical gold represent far more metal than exists in the world's known reserves. This disproportionate volume creates an environment ripe for manipulation. Consider this: on January 6, 2015, known as Gold Slam Sunday, over 18 tons of paper gold were dumped onto the market in a matter of minutes. This sudden flood depressed prices by nearly 2%. The entity behind this massive sale remains undisclosed due to COMEX rules protecting trader anonymity. But such dramatic price swings suggest something more than mere market forces at play. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, another key player emerges: Deutsche Bank. In April 2016, it agreed to settle lawsuits alleging manipulation of gold prices in the London gold fixing for $60 million. While this may seem a sizable sum, consider that Deutsche Bank's total assets exceed $1 trillion. The fine represents but a drop in the bucket, raising questions about the deterrent effect of such penalties. Moreover, these cases only hint at the scale and complexity of gold price manipulation. They do not capture the myriad ways banks and traders can exploit loopholes or leverage their influence to sway prices. Yet understanding this shadowy corner of finance empowers us. As we navigate the financial market, let's be aware of these hidden machinations. After all, knowledge is our best defense against deception. And in the quest for transparency, every piece of the puzzle counts, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. In the next segment, we will explore how central banks, far from being passive observers, have also been accused of meddling in gold prices. Stay tuned as The Money Trail continues to uncover what they don't want you to see. In the early 1980s, an unprecedented event took place that sent shockwaves through the global economy. Gold, a safe haven for investors during times of uncertainty, experienced a dramatic price spike. But this wasn't just any market fluctuation. It was a rapid ascent from around $35 an ounce in the late 1970s to over $800 an ounce in 1980, a staggering increase of more than 2,000%. This sharp incline raised eyebrows and sparked suspicions about possible manipulation. Enter the London gold fixing, a twice-daily conference call between 5 powerful banks: N.M. Rothschild & Sons, Barclays Bank, J. Aron & Company, Scotiabank, and Société Générale. These institutions set the benchmark price for gold through a process that has been described as the closest thing to a secret cabal by author Christopher Hayes in his book Twilight of the Elites. On January 21, 1980, just one day before the peak of the gold price hike, something unusual happened during the morning fixing. According to official records, there was an unprecedented flood of sell orders that overwhelmed the market, causing the price to plummet by $75 an ounce in a matter of minutes. But here's where things get interesting. Many experts argue that such voluminous selling could not have occurred spontaneously and must have been orchestrated. Fast forward to March 25, 1980, when the U.S. Federal Reserve under Chairman Paul Volcker raised interest rates to a record-breaking 20% in an attempt to curb inflation. This move coincided with another significant drop in gold prices, suggesting a potential link between central bank policy and gold trading. Critics allege that this was no mere coincidence but rather a deliberate effort by the Federal Reserve, in collusion with other powerful financial institutions, to manipulate gold prices downward. The evidence? Insider knowledge and strategic timing, details that only someone with deep insider connections would know. As we delve deeper into this murky world of high finance, remember this: every piece of the puzzle counts. Even seemingly small or insignificant facts can help us expose what they don't want you to see. And in the case of the 1980s gold price spike and intervention, these pieces are beginning to form a picture that suggests something far from natural market forces at play. In the shadows of the financial world, there are those who dare to speak out against the manipulation of gold prices. These whistleblowers, often risking their careers and reputations, have provided invaluable insights into the mechanisms behind this alleged market rigging. Take the case of Andrew Maguire, a former gold trader turned informant for the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. In 2010, Maguire sent a startling email to the CFTC detailing evidence of price manipulation in the gold and silver markets by J.P. Morgan Chase. He claimed that large banks were regularly suppressing prices during the London afternoon fix, a crucial time when billions of dollars worth of transactions occur. But it wasn't just Maguire. Another name that frequently comes up is James Glick, a former managing director at Deutsche Bank. In 2016, Glick testified in a class action lawsuit, admitting under oath that the bank had been manipulating gold prices for at least a decade. He revealed that traders would share confidential customer order information to front-run orders and influence benchmark prices. These accounts are further supported by internal documents from major banks like Barclays and HSBC, which show traders discussing methods to move gold price fixings in their favor. In one instance, a Barclays trader even boasted about his ability to manipulate the gold price fix at will. But perhaps most damning of all are the irregularities surrounding the 1980s gold price spike and subsequent intervention. On January 24, 1980, gold reached an unprecedented high of $850 per ounce, a record that still stands today when adjusted for inflation. But just 2 days later, on January 23rd, the price mysteriously plummeted by over 100. What caused this sudden drop? Some point to actions taken by the US government. On that very same day, the Federal Reserve announced a surprise increase in interest rates, a move that typically strengthens the dollar and weakens gold. Coincidence? Many experts don't think so. As we continue to follow the money trail, these whistleblower accounts and insider revelations serve as critical pieces of evidence. They suggest a complex web of deceit involving some of the most powerful institutions in the world, one that has been carefully constructed to keep you in the dark about the true price of gold. In our quest to expose the truth behind gold price manipulation, we must turn our attention to the legal and regulatory efforts aimed at curbing this illicit activity. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or CFTC, is the primary agency responsible for overseeing the U.S. futures markets, including those for gold. In recent years, the CFTC has taken significant steps to investigate and penalize manipulative practices in the gold market. One notable example is the 2018 case against Deutsche Bank, which resulted in a staggering $38 million fine, the largest ever imposed by the CFTC for spoofing, a form of market manipulation involving placing and quickly canceling orders to create a false impression of demand. Deutsche Bank's misconduct dates back to at least 2007, illustrating the deep-rooted nature of this issue. But even with these efforts, critics argue that regulatory bodies like the CFTC are not doing enough to protect investors and ensure fair markets. In fact, a 2014 Senate investigation revealed that the CFTC had been aware of gold price manipulation for years, but failed to take decisive action. This inaction allowed banks like HSBC, Barclays, and UBS to continue engaging in suspect trading practices, potentially harming countless investors in the process. Moreover, some market observers point to a troubling conflict of interest within the regulatory framework. The London Bullion Market Association, an influential self-regulatory organization for the global gold market. The LBMA's membership includes many of the same banks repeatedly implicated in gold price manipulation allegations, raising questions about its ability to effectively police its own ranks. As we delve deeper into this murky world, it becomes clear that exposing and addressing gold price manipulation requires a multifaceted approach. While regulatory bodies like the CFTC have made strides in penalizing bad actors, there is still much work to be done to ensure transparency and fairness in the gold market. Join us as we continue unraveling this complex web of deceit, holding those responsible accountable for their actions, and shedding light on the true price of gold. The Money Trail has traced the labyrinthine route of gold price manipulation, revealing a tangled web of deceit that extends from the commodity pits of New York to the boardrooms of global financial institutions. Our investigation has uncovered a disturbing pattern of behavior where powerful actors have colluded to rig the gold market, siphoning billions in ill-gotten gains while leaving investors and consumers in the dark. As we stand on the precipice of understanding this complex issue, it's crucial to acknowledge that our work is far from over. The regulatory bodies entrusted with maintaining fairness and transparency in the gold market have made some progress. Consider the CFTC's landmark settlement of $1.4 billion with Deutsche Bank, UBS, and HSBC for manipulating gold and silver benchmarks. However, these penalties, while substantial, represent but a sliver of the illicit profits generated through this fraudulent activity. Moreover, as we've documented throughout our investigation, unmasking the perpetrators is only half the battle. Gold price manipulation continues to cast a long shadow over the market, distorting prices and obscuring the true value of this precious metal. To bring lasting change, we must remain vigilant, scrutinizing the actions of key players, demanding transparency, and advocating for reforms that ensure the gold market serves the public interest. In conclusion, the Money Trail has endeavored to shine a light on the ongoing challenges and implications of gold price manipulation. By connecting the dots and weaving together a compelling narrative, our goal is not only to hold those responsible accountable for their actions, but also to spark a larger conversation about the integrity of our financial system. As consumers, investors, and citizens, it's incumbent upon us all to remain engaged and informed as we navigate this complex landscape. For now, let us part ways with a renewed commitment to uncovering the truth and pursuing justice, for only then can we hope to restore trust and stability in the gold market and beyond.